Hi, Shameless Squad, what up? This is your Mars retrograde sex astrology forecast and fortune when it comes to what you need to know about Mars retrograde and how it relates to sex, sexuality, do's and don'ts, and all the things, yo. So if you didn't watch my most recent video, like, we want more of this energy, this little skull guy, versus this energy, the Grinch guy, when it comes to Mars retrograde here. So if you want to know secrets, go back to watch my previous video because I'm spilling all the tea. This video, we're going to go through Mars retrograde briefly, do's and don'ts for sex, sexual partnerships and relationships, things to watch out for, all 12 rising sign, astrology, sex, fortunes, and we're going to pull some tarot for each sign here too. So if you are new, I need you to smash that subscribe button, boo. Make sure to like this video and be a part of my Shameless Squad, yo. I am shamelessly sexy Jackie here. She, hers are my pronouns. I'm a certified sex therapist turned sexual confidence coach and psychic medium who makes videos on tarot, astrology, self-care, mental health, and more here. So I'm here to give you the astrology tea when it comes to this Mars retrograde season. So make sure to hit subscribe so you never ever miss out on all my videos here overall. And if you ever want a private read with me, all that info is in the description box below. So let's talk about this here. Mars retrograde, for those of you that don't know, Mars is a planet of anger, aggression, sexual libido, and assertion here, okay? It's about how we take action. And when we are in retrogrades, it's something where it's like, oh my gosh, we are going backwards in time here, but that's how it feels. Time feels like it slows down. So this is a time of a lot of do's and don'ts. So let's talk about this. Don't try to be demanding of partners or a spouse during this time here. Don't plan tons of sex dates, activities, or date nights. Less is really more during this time here. Don't send any angry messages, sex negative messages, or comments, or shame, or manipulate situations or sexual partners or connections because you are going to get a bad outcome, y'all, if that happens. Don't try to add new sexual techniques when it comes to spicing things up because it can really feel like tempers are high sometimes, and it feels like if sex is a chore during this time, like it's so much work, then it's not good to add the new things in regards to this. So pay attention. Everyone is different, so only take what resonates for you with the astrology bill. Don't start fights about sex, though. However, this is such a big one overall. If you're going to start them, you better finish them, is what I'm going to tell you here, meaning work on conflict management, okay? And that really means on communication, clarification, comprehension, and implementation. Take the action steps to do this and make accurate repair attempts if and when there are any fights or anything like that going on, and make sure that you really take time to reflect on how to have good conversations with a partner, however, in a shameless way, not a shameful way, okay? Definitely do self-soothe any anger, any emotional outbursts, any feels that are really intense during this time. Make sure you are focusing in on coping skills, self-soothing skills, emotional regulation skills, so that way they are not projected or displaced on a partner, partners, or spouse, or even friends here too, y'all, okay? Definitely do slow down, work towards your sexual desires for the future, and be mindful if sex feels like a chore at this time. And if it feels like a chore, you know, what types of sex are you having? Ask yourself why that is and what is missing here overall. Do stick to feeling what is working and really loving and being loving towards yourself and partners when it comes to any types of relationships here. Do treat partners with a little extra love and respect during this time, and do something nice for your partners to remember why you're with them, why you love them, and why you care about them. It'll be a nice little surprise, especially when it feels like if there's any like fighting kind of energy here overall. Retrogrades are the perfect time to really go within, really journal, really reflect, really meditate, and really go back to previous things that may be unfinished and take some time and be in this energy. In my previous video, we talked about the card that's associated with this is the 501's energy, which is really the chaos, conflict, competition, people fighting each other in the tarot deck here. So be very mindful of this. We also talked about the 6 degrees in Leo and the part of it too that is the Virgo degree when it comes to astrology here. And so you might run into feeling, because Virgos, shadow side of themselves, they can be, you know, perfectionists, right? They want to have everything be perfect. And the thing of how that can come up with Mars retrograde and sex or relationships or partners is needing to have the perfect type of sex, needing to feel like, oh my gosh, we need the perfect date or whatever, and I need everything and it's got to be so good, and like if one thing goes wrong, boom, like the whole world comes crumbling down and crashing down, and that's not the point of it, okay? So be patient with yourself and partners. Practice self-compassion during this time, okay? Don't beat yourself up if things are not going perfect with partner, spouse, date night, sex, whatever it might be, and if sex isn't perfect here, if there's any struggles or even struggles with the E's and the O's. If you know, you know. Or the desires, slow down and be like, it is going to be okay. I am fine. I am safe. I am sound. All is okay. Okay. Other considerations and self-care tips when it comes to Mars retrograde specifically. Libido could be extremely high for some signs, such as Aries or Scorpios, because those are the signs that Mars rules. Previously, Scorpio was ruled by Mars here, okay? But Aries is ruled by Mars overall, and Scorpio rules the genitals here. And this, Mars retrograde, this could also be Leo or Cancer, potentially too, because that's in those signs. Go back and watch my recent video. Pay attention to any past sexual hookups, fuck buddies, friends with benefits, poly partners, play partners, whatever. They could be sliding in your DMs, trying to come back around, trying to get you to do something, especially if you don't like them anymore, or really trying to force sex or a date night or something onto you. Libido could also be lower during this time for some people, especially Libra, because Mars is detriment in this sign, as well as Taurus or even Cancer as well. So it's kind of like, we do have Mars going retrograde in Cancer, and so it could be up, it could be down. So just pay attention to what is going on for you, but Mars is not typically the most comfortable in those signs in the birth chart here. Be mindful that desire discrepancies are normal, and there could be a lot of spontaneous desire and arousal during this time, okay? Quickie sex, having an O too quickly could occur, or even sexual bids for affection could come in very, very fast. So definitely watch out for any sexual injury, or with Mars really being this planet of aggression here, this is something where there could be some frustrations or challenges here. Some people might, you might have injury, anything of that sort here too. Some people might also consider pain to be more pleasurable, slowing down and during this time here, and people might be exploring, BDSM and kink a little bit more with that, and some types of sensuality with play, not having it be so fast, so quick. And we also have that it is not about the quantity of sex that you are having, it is about the quality of sex, which is just good info when it comes to any type of time during life, retrograde or not, when it comes to this specifically overall, especially with not comparing your sex life to other people's or things of that sort, just in general. So let's talk a little bit about, these are going to be based on your rising signs, what house Mars is coming in with, because it's sexually aggressive, it's assertive sex, it's the energy of somebody who really knows what they want, and this is a time where someone could really be coming in hot here. So make sure that you watch this read based on your rising sign here overall, and if you want to get a full picture of what's really happening, then I suggest watch your sun and your moon sign here, okay? We're going to use our Astro Sexy deck over here shamelessly to explain a little bit about how this can show up in sex here for those of you that want to know more and know more about different Astro Sex offerings that I'm going to have in the future here. Then I highly recommend you get on my newsletter at stayshameless.com. You get a freebie digital download about communication as well here, which can be used all year and at different times too, no matter what, when it comes to partner, spouse, or just people in your life, boo. So let's talk about this. What we are going to do is we're going to go through all 12 rising signs here. So if you want to be able to get a pen, paper, or look up your rising sign, that is the ascendant in your birth chart. So I'm using the whole sign system, tropical house, zodiac signs overall. So this is really a time for you to base it off of this here, okay? So let's discuss this. We have Leo Risings. We're going to start with you, boo. This is going to be in your first house of ego, identity, appearance when it comes to Mars going retrograde in your sign, Leo. This is something where you might question who you are sexually, question things with the sexual connection or partnership or something of your sexuality or yourself. It is the me energy. It is you, Leo, in the spotlight in this moment here when Mars is going retrograde in your sign here. Then when Mars goes retrograde in Cancer, it's going to be in your 12th house here overall. 12th house energy, what this really looks like with sex, this is sex maybe, later on in life. This could be breakups, endings, hidden sexual beliefs, or something going on in the subconscious or the psyche. So you really might be reflecting on your mental health. You may be escaping with sex. Pay attention to any sexual addiction, forms of that, or having sex be the only way that you are self-soothing, and any types of distress with that if you are feeling frustrated or upset or mad. And you could also be having a lot of sex dreams during this time too when Mars is in Cancer in your 12th house rising sign, boo. Let's go through Virgo Rising. So again, 12th house when it's in Leo here, okay? So again, mental health, spirituality, dreams, fantasies, illusions. You might also be like, oh my God, this person loves me after one time that we hook up, or like we have sex with them, right? Like delusional thinking, now we're gonna get married, or all these things. So pay attention to that. Pay attention to other people, maybe doing this to you, Virgos. But this is something where also you could be having a lot of sexual activations in your dreams here. Pay attention to this and make sure that you do get enough sleep and rest during this time too as well, because that's going to be very important for you in your sexual self-care, especially if and when you are trying to maybe have sex with self, partners, whatever here. Then it goes into Cancer in your 11th house, Virgo Risings. This is going to affect you when Mars goes into Cancer, okay? So this is your networking, friends, groups, communities. You could be meeting some people out here in the community, new sexual partners, friendships, or relationships, but this could also be new partners, relationships, friendships, maybe even people on technology trying to like fight you here, trying to challenge you here, trying to get you to do something that you don't want to do. So pay attention to some of these things here, as well as just take your time when it comes to maybe meeting anybody new when it comes to sex overall. Then Libra babies, what we got for you is when Mars is in Leo for your rising sign, Libra Risings, this is networking, friends, groups of people, community. So again, you could be meeting like a sex partner, a hookup, a fuck buddy, whatever. Someone could be hooking you up through your network of people. This could also be someone that you meet within new relationships or some sort of community connection here. Someone might try to force somebody on you too, so just pay attention to that. If they're trying to like get you to be like, oh my God, hook up with that person, hook up with this person, da, 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 like a friend or a colleague or something like that, and you're just like, no, stop it. So it could just be kind of irritating or annoying. And then when Mars goes into Cancer, this is going to be influencing your 10th house, which is your career, public image, reputation, daily work. You might meet someone in your career, life purpose, or you might be really achieving your sex goals and focusing on yourself during this time. I feel like that's more healthy and more appropriate personally. You might be hooking up with someone at work or something, some sort of sex scandal could come out about that with Mars going backwards. Or if you ever had a past hookup from work or something like that and had sex with them, right? They could be coming in here, but pay attention to anybody from work and trying to ruin your reputation, specifically when Mars is in Cancer in your 10th house. This might be a sexual connection that's trying to say something or manipulate some sort of situation. Scorpio Risings, it is going to be when Mars is in Leo in your 10th house of work, career, public image here, overall reputation. So again, kind of similar with Cancer Risings, but you might meet somebody in your career here, or you might be thinking about someone from the past work setting or place, like a sex hookup, fuck buddy, like whatever. But this might be someone that you might know. They might be in the public eye. You might go back to them. They might come back to you here, come back around. They might want to achieve some sort of sex goal with you or do something with you. And you might just be like, no, this is too close for comfort. Like we work together. And so it's really going to be important for you to set and hold any boundaries with that. But pay attention to any like power struggles specifically when it comes to sex during this time, or just even someone trying to like boss you around in bed, since the 10th house is Capricorn energy. You may or may not like that. And just pay attention to anybody like trying to really, manipulate you and obsess over you or start drama with you, just even in work settings or partnerships here as well. Then when Mars is in Cancer, it goes into your 9th house here overall of higher education, long distance travel, school, work, university, things of that sort. This is something where this could be retrograding back to a time where someone could come in that you met on like traveling or from university or whatever. And this person might try to emotionally manipulate you, trying to have sex with them or something like that. This is someone where you could also meet somebody while traveling here too. Someone from the past could just come up with this, but you might be thinking about these past previous things here. So pay attention if there is someone or something that is trying to, force sex like on vacation with you. Like even at a bachelorette party, something of that sort, or where you might go hook up with someone here and then like maybe potentially regret it later. So just pay attention to that, be mindful of that, and don't let anybody try to like push you into anything, especially if you are going on any vacations during this time here. Let's talk about Sagittarius Rising. So this is influencing you, like in your house when Mars is in Leo, 9th house here. So travel, universities, philosophy, values here. Someone might try to like push their sexual values onto you, and it could start an argument or fight here, or try to push you into having like sex with them while traveling. This could be something where You might also do this to someone else potentially too, because this is the house of you specifically. And this is something where there could be some frustrations with that, some anger towards that. This could also be like a sex vacation getaway and then it like doesn't work as well as you want it to, or like a sex weekend that was planned and then it's like, oh my gosh, it doesn't even happen. Like we're so tired, we're so spent here, right? So you might be really angry or upset, or a partner spouse here is just kind of what I see. There also might be someone from the past, like maybe college or university, if you've been to school or something like that, trying to connect with you and come back around, maybe hook back up with you, something of that sort here, partners sexually too. And then when Mars is in Cancer, this is going through your 8th house, which is really about like sex, mysteries, monies, and it could also be investments, taxes, shared finances here. So for any of you that maybe like have gone through a divorce or a child custody battle, there could be something like with that's coming back around, that's going really slow. Or this is also something where there might be a lot of like sexual activations during this time here, where you might be going inward and really exploring your sexuality more, and other people might try to like pressure you into trying some sort of new kink, some new fetish here. This is like death, transformation, and rebirth of sexuality too. And so your sexual libido may naturally just be lower during this time, where it's like, no, I emotionally want to figure some things out with myself here and kind of go deeper overall. With shared finances in this too, like maybe a partner or spouse here like potentially like goes crazy a little bit, not crazy, but like goes wild and maybe spends too much money on like sex toy items or certain dates nights or things or whatever. Maybe you do this, or like again like travel, vacation, something of that sort, even with that earlier time when Mars is in Leo. And this might be something where it hurts you, it upsets you, whatever here. So just pay attention to this when it comes to sex and relationships overall. Capricorn Risings, I'm one of you, Bill. So this is going through our 8th house when Mars is in Leo. So again, investments, what you know, what you owe others, shared finances, resources. This is also sex, mystery, sexuality. This might also be something where someone from the past could be trying to come in and try to ruin something for those of you that have a relationship, a partnership. There could be some sort of mystery, some sort of hidden secret that just naturally comes out because someone's trying to like use it against you potentially. Or, and with Sagittarius Risings, I didn't say that either, but like if someone's trying to like say there's some sort of accusation against you here and there's like nothing there, someone could just be trying to start shit with your relationships overall. But there might also be some different kinds of things where there might be sharing in different types of sex secrets, hidden mysteries, kinks, BDSM, trying some things new sexually here. But it's also about the time of like maybe going within first to figure out what you want and not just automatically, let's just try it. And it's kind of like if you get a partner, partners, or spouse like really, really, really excited about this, they're like, let's try. And you might feel kind of pressured to be like, no, like, wait, like I'm not as like invested in this yet here. Okay. So just pay attention to any arguments, aggression, anger when it comes to sexual libido, especially with trying anything new or any activations with this. And then it goes through your 7th house when Mars is in Cancer of committed relationships. So this could be a spouse, a partner, a bestie, whatever, business partnerships here, committed relationships. But for your sexual energy, this can really show up as long-term partners and commitments or marriage or sharing and pleasure with other people. So there could be some people that are trying to get in the way of you and potentially a sexual connection here. It's like triangulation energy, be it if you have a partner, a spouse, or multiple partners here. Your partners could be getting in the way of each other, or a friend could be getting in the way of you and a partner, or a partner could be getting in the way of you and a friend or a spouse, or whatever the situation might be. So this might be some conflict between being so busy potentially like with work that you don't have enough time for sex or anything like that, and it like emotionally hurts you or emotionally hurts your partner here, that sort of thing overall. So pay attention to this, really go within, don't rush anything when it comes to sex, sexuality with partners here too. Aquarius Risings, when Mars is in Leo, this is going through your 7th house of partnerships, committed relationships, marriage, business partnerships, legal matters, things of that sort here. So this might be something where, again, sharing pleasure with other people during this time. This could be something where you have multiple business partners, and there could have been like 2 that fucked around and you found out, and like, oh god, great, like now we're in like a sex triangle right here or whatever. Or even like poly partners, or if you have multiple partners, or if you have a spouse and then like a friend or a family member or a loved one, like just someone is trying to come in, more so related to probably business partnerships, and spouses or multiple partners or friends here are trying to like kind of F things up for you here, get in the way, triangulate. So just pay attention to any types of conflicts, anybody trying to start drama. It's kind of like, it gives me the reality TV show vibe here, I'm not gonna lie, overall. So just pay attention to this. And then when Mars is in Cancer in your 6th house of physical health, routines, things of that sort, this is something where you could be noticing some things with coworkers, like different types of sex scandals at work, people trying to pull you in at like their drama, their gossip or whatever. This could also be something where you're really just needing to go within and work on your sex and self improvement overall. So really prioritizing time with yourself and your partner here is what's going to be best for you. But this might also be, someone might be trying to really challenge you when it comes to physical health, and they're trying to say like, well, hurry up, get your physical exercise going, and then your libido will like rise and rise and rise. You might just be like, stop pushing me into this, right? But this is something where when it comes to sexuality with Mars in this Cancer energy, someone might kind of push your buttons here when it comes to maybe a sex routine or having things needing to be perfect or really moving forward with this. Pisces Rising, this is going through your 6th house here when Mars is in Leo, so physical health routines, people work for you, coworkers, colleagues. When it comes to sex and relationships here, you might be getting caught up in like a love triangle at work, listening to people's sexual scandals or BS or whatever, or maybe people at the gym, things of that sort, physical routines here. For you, people might be really trying to, pull you into the drama and the antics of things here. So pay attention to that. If it happens, I say stay out of it personally. That's what's going to be really good for you during this time. But this might also be a time where you really need to work on your self-improvement when it comes to sex, when it comes to sexual health, sexual self-care. Really go within, do some different types of exercises since this placement's going to be affecting you the longest, the most here. And then after that, Mars will go through your 5th house of dating, sexuality, hookups, romance, creativity. So sexual energies are going to be activated for you. So it's like the 6th house can really prepare you for different types of things with understanding like your sexual routines, or, have I hooked up with a coworker in the past and do I actually want to do that in the future, right? And thinking about some different kinds of things here overall, because 6th house is your physical health and routines. Some of you may have potentially contracted something from STD, STI, another person to, I don't know, potentially, and then being like, oh crap, or like the love triangles, things of that sort. But 5th house is also like there might be some sort of new romance coming in, hookup, pregnancy, or childlike play or fun energy, and you might have to go within to really feel like, what is it that I want? What is it that I love when it comes to dating or sex or creativity? How can I get really spontaneous and have some fun with this kind of energy? For some of you, you could be getting pregnant during this time, so congratulations. And this could have been a time that maybe it took a while to get to this point here, or this is something where it might happen later on here overall for some of you. Some of you might be thinking about having children, kids, with a partner or a spouse here. So just, if you don't want to have a hookup with somebody and like not use protection or anything like that, just be careful of getting pregnant during this time here overall. This is something where there's a lot of fun energy here. So it's also really about slowing down and don't rush it, and don't allow people to force you into anything that you don't want to do, especially if it's children during this time. I don't see you giving into that energy specifically. Aries Risings, when Leo is going through your 5th house, or this is going to be influencing your 5th house when Mars is in Leo here. So this is your romance, hookups, pregnancy, fuck buddies, friends with benefits, things of that sort, creativity. I said this in Pisces because it's going through them first. Or is first when Mars is in Cancer, and then it's coming for you like overall when Mars is in Leo at the beginning of this transit. And so this is something where don't have anybody like really push sex or a hookup or dating onto you or romance, or like trying to be very creative and sneaky and manipulate you into some sort of situation that you don't want to be in, especially if you don't know if you want to have kids or not, and you feel like, I don't want to have kids, so I want to use protection during this time or whatever. So proceed with caution with Mars when Mars is in Leo, especially if people are trying to be very charming and charismatic and like push you or kind of force you into something metaphorically, or like you just feel that kind of vibe and energy. Just pay attention to the people around you. And then when Mars is in Cancer, it's going through your 4th house of home and family, or people living with you or property here. So this might also be like you want to feel sexually safe at home with a partner here. And for those singles out there, that might be something that you're really thinking of. But also like in the relationships, if you did have any family members or friends try to like push any hookup or fuck buddies people on you, or even kids onto you, some of you really want to have a connection that this is a really time to think about like, what is a sexual or relational connection that feels really comforting to me, soothing to me, and doesn't force me to do anything that I don't want to do. So it's a really slow time to also like protect your energy, your peace, be at home, go within. So pay attention to any family members or friends trying to like push relationships, partners, their values onto you. or people that they think you should be dating or hooking up with, having sex with, that sort of thing. Taurus Rising's here. So when Mars is in Leo, this is going through your fourth house, and this is about home, family, people living with you, and property here. So this might be something where you might have a lot of people in your home or space or something like that, right? And you're like, oh, like, can we ever have sex here? You could have kiddos and you're like frustrated, like, when do we get to actually have sex? Or maybe a partner has that here and it's influencing you, right? So this is something where you really want there might be some fights or struggles when it comes to home life, and maybe even like balancing out chores and responsibilities, and then there's like no time left for sex here, and it could be kind of frustrating overall, but you're really wanting to feel secure in this connection here. And because you are a very like physical, like sensual sign, Taurus, of like slowing down, this could feel extra frustrating with Mars and Leo, where there could be a lot of antics and drama and like family drama around home and sex or people or partnerships or relationships that are trying to get a rise out of you and really manipulate you. So pay attention to that. Later on, when Mars is in Cancer, this is going to be going through your Gemini third house here of communication, social media, productivity, day-to-day tasks, getting things done, writing projects. So how does that influence sex? Okay, this is something where you might be thinking about sex, learning about sex, slowing down with sex a little bit, and like talking about this overall. Pay attention to any emotional outbursts though and frustrations with Mars and Cancer, because it is a 0 to 100 sign, and it is a very emotional sign here, Taurus. So this is something where you might experience like some anger or some texts or some social media like messages back and forth with somebody, or like using technology as a scapegoat rather than having conversations face to face and communicating with a person in a shameless way here. Or someone could be doing this to you. There could have been some different types of sex goals with trying to get things done, and it's just not really working overall. But this is something where you really need to learn from this person and move forward with them and take some time with them. Gemini risings, let's talk about this. So when Mars is in Leo, this is in the third house, which you are the third house, Gemini here, okay? So this is your communication, social media, productivity, day-to-day tasks, getting things done, writing projects, different things of that sort here. You might have some outbursts when Mars is in Leo, some drama, okay? You might have some drama with a lot of people. And Gemini, I'm not gonna lie, I feel like it could be more than one person, specifically because you are the twins here. And so this could be something where there could be multiple people that you might be attracting or coming to you with their drama. And this could also be younger siblings too, potentially, since you are the younger siblings house here, as well as people telling you about their sexual relationships, their hookups, their fuck buddies, their friends with benefits on social media or technology. They might be like bitching and complaining to you about this, and you might just have like a very short like leash is what they're saying with that. Like, I don't have the energy for this. Like, stop. Like, why don't you go talk to that person or something? But Gemini, this is something where you might try to give a lot of different feedback. You might try to jump in and communicate different kinds of things, and then this person doesn't want to hear your relationship advice or your advice for their sexuality or their sexual energies here or whatever. So you might be learning about a lot of news from people, specifically when it comes to relationships, about sex, things of that sort, and also trying to talk about this. So just careful with any types of like drama, anger, blowouts, issues when it comes to communication with those around you. Then when Mars goes into Cancer, this is going to go into your second house here. This is money, income, pleasure, love, changes with finances. So you could be experiencing, maybe you are a partners or spouse here, loved one, whomever, spending a lot of money on maybe date night, sex, pleasurable sexual self-care items, toys, things of that sort. And this might be something that's really frustrating you, that maybe emotionally you just have a big outburst because Mars is going to be in Cancer during this time, and you might be annoyed about how maybe a partner, spouse is spending money here overall, and really trying to get on the same page with values is what's going to be important here. So pay attention to that. Watch out for that here overall. Then last but not least, Cancer rising babies. This is going to be when Mars is in Leo during the majority of this time. This is going to be through your second house here, okay? Money, income, changes with finance, pleasures, love here overall. This is something where there could be a lot of sexual possessions that you just have more and more and more and more and more of, and a partner or a spouse or you like might be frustrated with that, spending too much money during this time on sexual self-care items, date nights, pleasures, life's little luxuries, and then it maybe just be like fuck it moments of I'm gonna spend, and you really need to get on the same page, potentially, if you have a partner out there, when it comes to money values and how you're spending money in love and the things that you love, the things that, you know, bring you and your partner's joy in your relationship or your marriage or, you know, your connection here, and also have money saved for you specifically. So watch out for fuck it moments. There might feel like there's a lot of drama around like money and also possessions or experiences versus the stuff, like the sex toys versus the like sex vacation getaway right here. So just pay attention to some of those things here overall. And then when Mars goes in your sign, Cancer, this is in the first house of you. So self behavior, appearance, personality, how you really deal with things, how you're showing up here overall, body image too. So you might be doing some things to like slow down with your sexuality. Really think about, am I bisexual, pansexual, demisexual? Has my sexuality changed here? How does that influence, you know, my gender expression? How does that influence, you know, me overall? You might sexually be questioning things like with yourself, and then how that might tie to a partner's spouse, or some sort of like potentially committed relationship here for those that are in relationships. For others of you, this is a really good time to take time, if you are single, go within and really explore your sexuality more specifically, because then when Mars gets out of your sign, everything like that, you're going to be more clear, more crisp, moving forward on these things and really knowing what it is that who you are sexually, internally, and how you show up in this world externally, in relationships with other people, and also the relationship with yourself here. So let me know what y'all think about this in the comments below here. I'm going to pull a tarot card for the collective when it comes to the sexual energies here. So 2 wands in the upright here overall. So this is like going down the path. This is really making sure that you make the best choices for you. 2s are all about choices, trusting yourself, trusting your intuition overall. The 2 of wands is typically looking out, you know, on a path, moving forward here overall, and like marching to the beat of your own drum here. Okay. So I like that this is in the upright. I'm not gonna lie, I'm happy about it here overall. I'm glad that it's not in the reverse. So just really take some time to be with yourself, your choices. And if you feel like music could be something that's very grounding for you or self-soothing, definitely use that during this Mars retrograde here overall, everyone. Okay, so let me know how you're feeling about this when it comes to the sex astrology fortune, when it comes to Mars retrograde through the end of 2024 here and going into 2025. Was this helpful? How are you feeling about this in the comments below? Is there anything that you're like, yes, I can totally see this playing out? Or if anything does play out, come back and let me know, because I'm very curious about what the heck is going on. I know this is a lot of different things energetically here too. And if anything resonated with you, drop a heart in the comments below. Completely free to you. Like this video, share it, do all the things, help the channel grow. I would appreciate you so much. And as always, I hope that you have a peaceful holidays ahead here, and that things are more sexually assertive rather than aggressive with this Mars retrograde, and in relationships too. So again, as always, stay tuned for more and stay shameless.